Welcome to the channel, folks. We are down doing some work on the driveway. I came down here to not clear out the ditch on the right. I've already done that in a previous video. But the last storm that we had dropped about 5 or 6 inches of rain. It filled that ditch up over there and blew out across the driveway. You can see all the silt and fines in there, contaminated my gravel, which is a shame. But I've got that ditch all dug out. We're getting ready to get another 2 inches of rain in 24 hours, and it had blown over that bank and covered that tile up. So I had to pickaxe and shovel all this out of there. So the water's got somewhere to go. You know what I mean? So you just got to do what you got to do. And sometimes you have issues like this. So you just try to do the best you can do to keep it from happening again. I dug that ditch out deeper than it was previously, so hopefully it won't blow out. My 3-point is broke again. It actually broke yesterday. It's broke today. I think I've got an air leak on the suction side, and that's why I've got no lift. So yesterday I broke the, the adjuster rod for the top link, and that's probably on me. But now it's time to go for the walk of shame. I'm not going to drag that thing all the way up the driveway and tear it up. So we're just going to head a quarter mile uphill here and go get some tools. We're coming up on an area I've been doing a bunch of work on recently. I'm going to put a video out on this also. So I'm trying to get this, kind of leveled and graded out to a point that I'd like to have it at. And most of this is what I'm going to call undisturbed base soil. My thing here is not to go down too far because I don't want to end up having to put dirt back in that is going to need to settle and compact, and then you've got potential for losing gravel. I'm not really interested in putting driveway cloth down or something bigger than the number 4 to shear that base up because I went too far. So just a little bit at a time. And anyhow, let's go get some tools. I just put a video out on this area too. I finally got some gravel up top and got this spread out and tracked in pretty decent. Obviously I need more, but if you'd like to see that, you can check that out. This is going to be really nice because it's all just dirt up here and it gets pretty muddy, so having a surface to walk on that's not going to get muddy is awesome. And I'm really excited to be having this gravel. It's expensive, so whenever I can get it, that's a good day. Now let's go after this part I think we might need. This is the part that previously broke. I'm just going to call it a drive key. It seems like this is meant to be a sacrificial link between the engine drive gears on the timing chain, or the timing gears, and the actual pump itself. So if there was some type of failure with the pump and it locked up, it would break that drive key and not damage the drive gears or any other things. So it could be an air leak on the suction side. It could be that key that broke. Let's get down here and tear into this thing and see what's going on. So here we go. The first thing I want to do is fire this thing up, and then you can kind of see the fitting on the back of that pump. I want to loosen that up and see if we've got any pressure coming out of there, and that'll give me an idea of, do we have a control side issue or do we have a pressure issue? So let's see what goes on here. Alright, so you may not have been able to see it in the video, but when I cracked that nut loose, there was just kind of a stream going out. It didn't seem like it was under pressure. The way they've got this set up, the pump and the suction screen that's below it are kind of below the fluid reservoir. So I think it was just a stream of fluid coming out based off of the pressure or gravity, whatever you want to call it. So I'm saying that we've got some type of a pump issue. Did the drive key break? Is there an air leak on the suction side? Is there a bad seal on the pump? It's hard to say, but we are not building hydraulic pressure. I'm not sure what the cause is. Hopefully it's not a elusive air leak, because a lot of times when you'll have an air leak on a suction side, you will not actually see a very obvious fluid leak. And this thing, you can see it's got some leaks and they're all buttered up with dirt. So if we were to try and find a leak in general, it could be a big problem. So I've had this thing apart before. I'm just going to tear into this thing and see what's going on. There's nothing wrong with, getting used to taking stuff apart and being familiar with your equipment so you can be more efficient with repairs when you're trying to get stuff done. Alright, so I got this thing off and apart. You can see that this is one of the main seals, and then I guess there's just this, I'm going to call it like a plastic nylon seal that I guess works in conjunction with that rubber one, and it appears that it has been either melted or smushed. It's kind of hard to see, so maybe I messed that up the last time I had this thing apart. Now that's one of the O-rings I was just showing you on the suction side. That was kind of loose, and that O-ring was kind of smushed, so I got my O-ring kits out, and I'm going to replace that O-ring. That could have been the problem. It's hard to say. Could have that white nylon seal be the problem? Maybe. I mean, it's really hard to say until you get it back together and, see if it works or not. Now, who knows how all these seals are. There's two of those white nylons and the black one that I showed you, and there are also nylon and rubber seals on both sides of the pump rotors. Now, any of these could be leaking air and, basically causing this thing to not be able to get good suction and pump fluid through. So I've got some heavy duty RTV, and I'm just going to put a coating of this RTV in all of the slots that these seals go into, and then just get everything all cleaned up real good. I've got paper towels and lacquer thinner over there so that all the surfaces are very clean and hydraulic oil free. And once I get this thing all bolted back together, hopefully after the RTV cures, we'll have a good seal inside this pump. Is it going to last? I don't know. But it would be real nice to see if that say it only worked for a little bit and then it acted up again. Maybe I just got to get a new pump or something, because I looked around and I didn't see any seal kits for it. And the condition of the pump looks really good. So I've got that key that I showed you earlier hooked up to the timing gears, and I've clocked that pump to line up with that key, and we're just kind of getting the bolts back in. There's 4 bolts, 2 bolts kind of hold the pump halves, or I guess it's thirds, not halves, together, and then the other 2 bolts actually, bolt it to the engine assembly itself. So I'm getting this thing reinstalled on here, and a couple of videos back I had drained about 2 gallons of fluid out to service the suction screen because it was acting up then. Was this the problem? Was that the problem? I don't know. But we've just gone through 4 gallons of AW32 between these 2 repairs. And that stuff's about like $75 for a 5-gallon bucket. So, it's a little disappointing to be uploading all this money. So I'm pretty much cleaned up from doing this repair, and I'm going to head up the hill to get the AW32, get a little lunch, and let this thing sit here and dry up, so we get a good cure on those gaskets. This is a heavy duty quick dry, so it shouldn't take too long. Alright, we're all done with that. This thing's back together. Let's see what we got going on here. Now for my favorite part of the process, putting 2 gallons of hydraulic fluid through a tiny little funnel with a, I guess a 3/8 end on it. I mean, I'm saying it again, I don't know who designed this, but why would you be putting gallons of fluid through such a small hole? I don't know, but that's what you got to do, so we're doing it. So right now I'm cracking the pressure side AN fitting to let any air out to try and bleed this system. It seems like they always airlock. Well, I'm hitting the levers and we've got no lifty. Little disappointing. So I'm getting back in here. It really doesn't seem like this pump is putting any pressure out. So, like I said before, is it a air leak creating a suction issue? Is it a pump problem to where it's not building pressure? Who knows? I don't have any specs to go off of as far as like measuring the gap in the rotors on the pumps or anything like that. So now it's time to just get a fat daddy ratchet strap out and get this thing lifted up and up to the top of the hill, and then just regroup. Now I decided I was going to take one of these high quality Harbor Freight ratchet straps, secure this, release the thick strap, and get another pull on it. I wanted to get it up a little higher. That thing broke immediately. This implement weighs about 550 pounds. I don't remember what those straps are rated for. I think it's somewhere between 500 and 700 pounds. But that myth has been busted. So yeah, we're just going to get it up the best that we can and put that Harbor Freight ratchet strap in the old circle bin and get this China-made tractor up the hill. Alright, I got my hood prop rod put up, and we're back up top the hill now. Now, I had done some monkeying around under this thing with the control side levers, and it just seemed to start working again. I didn't really make any adjustments there. I was just making sure that it was moving when I moved the lever, and it was. And then it just started working. I don't know if it burped the air bubble out or what the situation is, but it's working again, and it seems to be working very well, so I guess I fixed it. Now here are some photos under that top lid. You can see the levers on the control side. Everything seemed fine when I had this apart a previous time. See that little plunger there? I don't know if that was sticking, and maybe that was the issue, but it's working. Please like, share, and subscribe if you don't mind, and I appreciate you all watching, and I'll see you on the next one.